Going, guys? Hey, I wanted to talk to you today. I'm coming at you Sunday morning, and I just listened to a sermon. Really, it was kind of a conversation between a lead pastor at our church currently and the two former ones who were there, and they kind of have this relationship that's very close, very intimate, to where they talk things through, encourage each other, they cheer each other on. Um, and really they maintain and keep the main focus, which is Christ. So that's not deviating away, realizing common things that can tear people away and drag a church down, kind of this concept. And so I was really thinking about this a lot, and I kind of just wanted to have a conversational um, thing going on with you, anybody that I'm working with, anybody that I can possibly encourage. And so I saw that this largely relates to life, and this largely relates to business, and specifically with probably what you're doing while you're watching this page too. So there's two main things I really want to talk about today. Um, Before I dive right in, I want to talk about, first of all, responsive action to your heart's longing, your heart's desire, like what you actually are looking for, what you crave, what you are consciously um, aware of, but don't necessarily act on. Just how to bring that about. And then the second thing that I want to talk about, and this is a huge, huge key point for all leaders out there, and this is the idea of humility. And so this makes you look a lot more attractive, and it also feels a lot more fulfilling, and it's more helpful to other people, and you'll start attracting more people to you and take less credit for your own. So the first one, responsive action. I see a lot of people, and this whole thing, just the idea of getting lots of money and accumulating lots of wealth and stuff. But I think if each person, and I know this is very true about my life, and I've really realized this, but each person has this deep down, unquenchable, this burning desire, um, just longing for something more, longing for understanding of what's something bigger than themselves. I think having a lot of money, that would be cool. All the stuff that I could buy would be cool, and it all seems very attractive, and that's what our society has kind of fostered, and it's just the ideal thing, and that's trying to get the next best thing. But there's kind of this materialistic trap going on with that. You'll never have. It's like keeping up with the Joneses. You'll never have the latest. Like there'll always be something greater that you can get, and so um, Harvard, the Harvard school, they actually, the number one class taught there is this one. The most popular class taught there is this one about happiness. And I watched this documentary about happiness, and it's really, really interesting. Got me thinking pretty deeply. Uh, it's kind of this idea of what is really fulfilling, what actually makes people happy. And they examine different people in different cultures, and pretty much unanimously across every culture, money was not a huge factor. It is to get out of poverty, and that is a very, very good thing. And money is very helpful, and it can be used greatly. And that's kind of up to each individual how they do that as they start accumulating wealth in whatever way that they're doing that. And so, being able to provide and get rid of that fear of living in poverty, not being able to provide, not being sustainable. So money is good to be able to get out of that. So they did an experiment, and the person who did not make $5,000 a year and the person who made about $50,000 a year, there is a significant, I mean, as you would probably expect, feeling of happiness. The person who had $50,000 a year, they were able to provide for their family, care for, and meet all of their needs. But then they did another experiment and compared the person who made $50,000 and then a guy who made $50 million, and there was not actually a significant difference in how they felt, the inner feeling of completeness, fulfillment, just enjoying their life. And so that's something that I really want to encourage today, is just um, really think about what you want. Traveling the world would be cool, but like you're still gonna be you, no matter where you go, and all those experiences. That'll be fantastic. That'll be great. And I want to do a lot of that stuff with my life. I'm gonna do a lot of that stuff with my life, but I had to look a little bit deeper, and I understand that I don't get any more joy than helping somebody else than serving my God, and doing that in a humble way. I don't. I'm not looking to get a bunch of attention from other people. I don't really care. It's not about what other people think, and there might be a lot of people. I adamantly love to identify myself with Christ. I'm not ashamed to bring Him up because He's the reason I live, and He's where I find true fulfillment and joy. And I was just reading this John 10:10 in the Bible that says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." And this is Jesus speaking here. He says, "I come that they may have life and have it to the full." And so this is kind of a promise that He declares, and something that I've definitely experienced how He's worked in my life, and really definitely fulfilling. And I'm more excited, more passionate about everything that I do now, giving my life to Him and just identifying Him and serving Him as my Lord and taking it off myself. I'm not living this life to serve myself anymore. He paid the greatest price ever to have me, and that's available to anybody, and I promise it's the best thing I've ever done. So that leads me to my next point, and this is this idea of humility. I think every great leader should model, best network marketer ever, the best leader of all time, is 100% Jesus Christ. And He kind of revolutionized the whole idea of leadership. There's lots of kings and people before with lots of power, lots of authority, but they just had people do stuff for them, and that's what looked cool. That's what a leader was. But in actuality, Jesus came, and He was a servant leader. He served others first, not for what He can get for Himself, but He ultimately gave His life as a ransom for many. And so, and He would go off and humble Himself. And that's really what I want to encourage you to do today. I think the root deep down of every sin is pride. We think we know it best. We think our way is the greatest. We want to make much of ourselves. We want to become popular, famous, and it's after this life is but a whisper. So when we pass on, that stuff's not going to be there. We're not going to get to enjoy that. But I'm looking long term, not just like long term, like a year from now. Like a lot of leaders, I'm looking in a great term of eternity, and that's what I want to encourage you guys to do, to not be so wrapped up in all of the materialistic things that this could do for you, which is great, but just see how it can empower you and how the system can play a part in your life and how it can help you in the grand scheme of things, but do that in a humble way. So which you're not saying, I'm the greatest, making a whole lot of me, but you're a servant leader. Like your genuine heart, your genuine care is your heartbeat is just to serve others and to help build them up and help fulfill what they need so that they can continue doing that too. And that's where the real joy comes in. You hear a lot about leaders who are making all kinds of money, but what do? They keep helping other people because they realize that all the money, that's great, but that's not as fulfilling as the actual process of it, the helping somebody else, serving your fellow brother and sister in whatever way that you can do that. And so those are largely the two main things that I wanted to talk about and just to encourage you. And my promotion, my call to action that I would have for each and every one of you guys is to, first of all, be responsive to what you got going on in here. Don't just let it sit here and all those questions that you have going on, that you're desiring, you're longing to get to find out and have that kind of satisfied. You know, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. You know, be a doer. Take massive action right away and say, hey, you know what? This is my life. I know YOLO was last year, but you live one time, so go make the most of it. Be responsive to what you feel is right. Like if you feel this is going to empower you, you know it's going to. If you feel like it's not going to, maybe you're not in this right mindset to do it yet. Okay, don't do what you got to do. Build yourself up as a person and share with others. You know, that's the whole reason I'm even making this video, is so I can share and empower others. And so do that, be responsive in action, and then do everything humbly. Rid yourself, make less and less of yourself, guys, and then that will just naturally, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, just the way God works, whatever, things will start working out better and better for you. So just be humble and make things about others, and I promise you will feel more fulfilled than ever. And so I just want you to have the best life possible and feel the most fulfilled that you can feel, be able to provide for your family, your friends, travel the world, do what you want to do, and just live the greatest life possible. So I really encourage you to check out my blog stuff. I encourage you to just check out more content that I've created, that I'm going to start answering a lot of questions that are common for Empower Network. People who are wanting to get started, people who want to know if it's a scam or not. Definitely not. Just people who want to understand a little bit more. And then I'm also going to do a lot of series on just going to the next level, what you can do to build your business and what you can do to take it to that next level, instead of staying plateau and staying where you're at if you're finding it difficult to move up to the next level. So I'm here to help you, and that is my one goal, is just to help as many people as possible and help them where they're at with what they're doing. So, you know, if you're in a different company, great, check it out. Don't want you to specifically just do this. Do what you're doing. Do what you're passionate about. Do what you love, and be the best you that you can be. So thank you so much, guys. Click the link below, and we'll get you started. We'll check out what's going on with this whole thing. And, you know, guys especially, you know this, but you wouldn't put a ring on your girlfriend unless you knew everything about her. So get your questions answered. I'm here for that. You know, I'll leave my phone number, email me, whatever. Let's get in contact. Let's get you going on the right foot, and responsive action and humility, guys. Love you.